If you're over 60 and wake up with dry or blurry eyes, this might be the most important video you ever watch. Now picture this. You rub your eyes in the morning, glance at a book or your phone, and notice something's changed. The small print feels fuzzier, lights seem harsher, and your vision, once sharp, now has a dull, tired haze that lingers into the day. And here's what almost no one tells you about eye health after 60. A 2023 clinical report from the Journal of Ophthalmic Research found that seniors with poor nighttime circulation to the eyes didn't just experience more dryness or early blurriness. They were also more likely to suffer from slowed cognitive response, difficulty with balance, and disrupted sleep cycles. Why? Because your eyes do most of their repair work at night. And now this next part genuinely shocked me. A Japanese study from Kyoto University tracked 2,200 seniors over 7 years, and those who skipped specific nutrients before bed were nearly twice as likely to develop vision-related impairments, even when their daytime diet was healthy. So today, Japan's oldest doctor will show us a calming, natural bedtime drink that supports your vision while you sleep, gently, safely, and rooted in both science and tradition. Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast. Doctor, I'm genuinely excited about this one.
As am I, John. Because when most people think about vision, they assume it's about lenses or eye strain, but truly, it's about how the eyes stay in sync with the brain. Vision isn't just a sense, it's a system, a living connection between your blood vessels, your nervous system, and your internal state of balance. And when that system starts to weaken, life starts to look duller and feel harder.
That's so important, because for many of my patients, they don't even notice their eyesight has changed until other things start to go, like their depth perception, their sleep quality, or even their reaction time.
Exactly. And by the time those symptoms show up, the repair process is already compromised. The eyes aren't failing because of age. They're missing support, missing circulation. I've cared for seniors in their late 80s who were told it's just part of aging, but we didn't settle. We helped their vision stabilize, not through drastic measures, but with gentle nourishment the body already knows how to use.
And that's what today's episode is really about. Not fixing your eyes with force, but helping them do what they're naturally designed to do. You've said before, it's not that seniors can't heal, they've just lost the rhythm.
Yes, and when that rhythm fades, it's not a sign of decline. It's a signal, a quiet request for flow, for oxygen, for the nutrients that allow the retina and optic nerves to do their work during rest. So today, I'll walk you through one of the simplest, most powerful bedtime habits I teach. A warm, nourishing drink that enhances circulation to the eyes overnight. But every detail matters, so I urge listeners to stay to the end, because every piece connects.
That reminds me of someone I spoke to just a few weeks ago, Carol, age 73. She said she woke up every morning with tired, burning eyes, like she'd barely slept. But after starting your evening ritual, just a cup before bed, she told me something I won't forget. I saw the sun rise clearly again.
That's it. Clarity is memory, and tonight, we'll help their eyes remember.
So before we begin, Doctor, I want to ask our listeners to leave a comment with what they want to learn next. And please like the video if it's helpful. That helps us reach more people with these tools. Now let's begin. Doctor, why is it that so many people over 60 struggle with vision in the morning? And what's really happening in the eyes while we sleep?
Because the eyes don't rest the way we think they do. During sleep, they go into repair mode, clearing out waste, restoring moisture, and regenerating the photoreceptor cells that capture light. But after 60, that cycle slows down mostly because circulation to the retina weakens. And without proper blood flow at night, those fragile tissues don't get the oxygen or nutrients they need to fully heal.
So it's not just aging, it's interrupted maintenance.
Exactly. And what's worse, most people unknowingly make it harder. They go to bed dehydrated. They expose their eyes to screens late into the night, and they don't provide any targeted nourishment to support that natural overnight cleanup.
That makes so much sense. In our last episode, we talked about how a simple 5-second eye trick could stimulate brain-eye connection and improve balance. But that method was active, something to do during the day. What you're describing now sounds more passive, letting the body receive what it needs during rest.
Yes. The previous technique stimulates movement. This one supports stillness. Think of it like in tending a garden. In the morning you stretch and prune, but at night you water the roots. And if the roots, your retina, your vascular system, don't get that nourishment, it doesn't matter how much stimulation you apply during the day. The repair must be internal. Nighttime is when circulation naturally opens up. If you pair that with the right compounds, you're aligning with the body's own schedule, not fighting it.
That's a powerful image, watering the roots.
And that's exactly what this ritual does. It gently opens the capillaries in the eye. It enhances melatonin's antioxidant role, and it helps your retina clear away the visual debris that blurs your mornings.
So if someone's waking up with stinging eyes, trouble focusing, or that soft haze that just won't go away, you're saying the problem may not be their lenses, but their nighttime circulation.
In many cases, yes. It's not a lens problem, it's a lack of flow problem. And the good news is, circulation can be restored, not overnight, but gently, night by night.
That reminds me of something Sharon told me. She said, "I always thought my vision was fading because of age. But it wasn't fading. It was starving." That line stuck with me, and I think that's what today's video offers, a way to feed the eyes again. So doctor, let's get into the heart of it. What exactly is this drink, and how does it support the eyes so effectively during sleep?
The drink itself is wonderfully simple. Warm milk, a few threads of high-quality saffron, and, if you like, a pinch of honey or cardamom. But what matters even more than the ingredients is how you prepare it, and when. We'll walk through all of that near the end of this episode, including how to avoid the most common mistakes. For now, what's most important to understand is why this drink works so well for vision at night.
So we're not just helping the eyes relax, we're helping them cleanse.
Exactly. And the timing is everything. Your deepest sleep stages are when the retina receives its strongest flow of blood and antioxidants, and saffron enhances that process. It's not just nourishment, it's targeted repair.
That's a very different mindset than most seniors are used to. They're taught to manage symptoms with surface solutions, not to nourish their vision from within.
Yes, and this works in harmony with your body's natural rhythm. Melatonin rises at night, and saffron supports that process. It doesn't interfere. In fact, melatonin is one of the strongest antioxidants for your eyes, and saffron amplifies its effects. That's why this nighttime habit doesn't just help you see better, it helps you rest better.
So we're supporting sleep and vision with one ritual.
Exactly. You don't need to add more. You need to subtract the friction. This one ritual creates space for the body to do what it already knows how to do. And here's what people tell me most often. The first thing they notice isn't visual sharpness. It's softness, less burning, less morning haze, a kind of calm behind the eyes.
That's one of those signals people often ignore. but it means the repair has already begun.
Right, because when circulation to the retina improves, comfort returns. And when comfort returns, clarity follows. Slowly, gradually, but undeniably.
So this isn't about blasting the eyes with more light or stimulation. It's about letting them restore naturally.
Yes, and the beauty of Saffron is that it doesn't push. It guides. It improves oxygen delivery, supports the tiny blood vessels behind the retina, and helps stabilize pigment response to light.
That's something we hear again and again. People saying colors feel more alive, almost like their eyes are remembering how to see again.
And that's what makes this so powerful. It's not a correction. It's a return. Your eyes aren't broken. They've just been under-supported for too long.
So this golden drink starts working within days for some people, but it keeps building the longer you use it.
Exactly. First, relief, then clarity, then confidence.
That last word feels really important, confidence. Because I think that's what people lose when their vision begins to slip. They feel more hesitant, more unsure. But what you're describing offers something different, a way to rebuild that quiet confidence, night by night. So, doctor, for those who are already practicing the 5-second eye movement from your last episode, how does this nighttime ritual complement that approach?
They complement each other beautifully because they support opposite ends of the same system. The 5-second eye trick stimulates the neural pathways between the brain and the muscles of the eye. It wakes up reflexes, improves depth perception, and strengthens visual balance. But that exercise won't work at its full potential if the eyes are still inflamed or undernourished.
So one energizes, the other restores.
Exactly. Most people only focus on one. But when you combine the two, daytime activation and nighttime repair, you're giving your eyes a full 24-hour cycle of support. That's when you see the real transformation.
I love that idea. It's not about doing more. It's about doing the right things at the right time. And when those two things are synchronized, the results feel effortless.
Yes. I often tell my patients, vision isn't just seeing. It's sensing, and sensing requires balance between tension and release, wakefulness and sleep, movement and stillness. The eye trick builds precision. The drink builds depth. Together they retrain the eyes to feel safe again, safe to focus, safe to relax, safe to let go of strain. And that's when visual improvement becomes sustainable, not a spike, but a steady rise, over weeks, not days, but lasting.
That phrase, safe to let go of strain, I think that's what so many people don't realize they're carrying.
Exactly. Their eyes aren't just tired, they're tense, and that tension clouds perception in ways they can't even name.
It reminds me of a man I met after our last episode. He told me he started doing your 5-second eye trick every morning, and his walking felt steadier within a week. But he still woke up feeling dry and hazy. That's when he added the saffron drink. 2 weeks later, he said something that stayed with me. For the first time in years, he didn't dread turning on the lights in the morning. And that's the shift we're talking about here. Not just seeing better, but feeling safer in the world. Doctor, for those who are ready to try this, what are the most important details they need to get right when preparing the drink?
There are 3 small things that make a big difference. First, the temperature. Never boil the milk or microwave it. Too much heat breaks down the carotenoids in saffron before they can reach your bloodstream. It should be warm, like a calming cup of tea you could hold with both hands.
So warm enough to feel comforting, but never hot enough to burn.
Exactly. The second detail is the steeping time. Most people rush it. but saffron needs 15 to 20 minutes in the warm milk to fully release its nutrients. If the color hasn't turned golden orange, it's not ready yet.
And that blooming color, it's not just aesthetic. It's a signal that something active is happening.
Yes, it's the release of crocin and crocetin, which directly nourish the retina. And third, you must use real saffron, not the dyed versions you sometimes see in low-cost grocery blends. Real saffron threads are deep red, sometimes with slightly darker tips, and they carry a very subtle, floral, earthy aroma, ideally from Iran, Kashmir, or Spain, regions that have cultivated it for centuries. And here's something many people don't realize. Saffron is fat-soluble. That's why we use milk or almond milk. The healthy fat helps carry the compounds to your eye tissue.
That's such an important detail, because without that fat, you might be absorbing far less than you think.
Exactly. And lastly, drink it at the right time, about 45 to 60 minutes before bed, not right before sleep. You want the body to begin circulating those compounds just as melatonin levels rise and deep rest begins. That's when the retinal cells begin their cleanup and repair.
So this is less of a bedtime snack and more of a signal, a gentle start to the healing process.
Yes, that's the perfect way to put it. It's not just a drink, it's a message to the body that it's safe to shift gears, to slow down, to rebuild. And when you pair that signal with consistency, the body doesn't just listen, it responds. Slowly at first, but then with surprising clarity. That's why it's called a ritual. It's not what you do once that heals you. It's what you return to, night after night.
You know, as I reflect on today's conversation, I'm struck by how different this message is from what most seniors hear. We're often told vision loss is inevitable, that decline is just part of aging. But what you've shown us, doctor, is that restoration is still possible. Whether you're just beginning this golden drink ritual or combining it with the 5-second eye trick from our last episode, we're so glad you're here with us. Please like this video, leave us with some feedback in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.